Just a second. So as a part of vocal variety, the one most important aspect to bring in the pronunciation excellence or vocal variety is what is known as intonation. So to understand when to intonate or where to intonate, we have a few rules or theories. We'll go ahead and see what these rules are. There is something, a concept known as thought groups. Whenever we speak in thought groups. So what are thought groups? Thought groups normally are 2 to 5 words put together, and they represent a small unit of meaning. So in a sentence, anything that represents a small unit of meaning is called as a thought group. We'll see the following example. In this sentence, the cat and the owl went to sea on a green boat. Now you tell me, how many ideas or thoughts do you see in this particular sentence? Hearing some answers. What are the different thoughts you hear in this particular sentence?
Like the cat and owl went to the sea, or like they went to see something.
Okay, the cat and the owl is one idea. Went to sea is another idea. On a green boat is another idea. Fantastic. The cat and the owl, it answers the question who. Went to sea answers the question what. How? On a green boat. Now these are the different thought groups. Now I'm going to check your grammar. Now from these thought groups, I want you to identify the noun, verb, adverb and adjective. What are the nouns?
Cat.
Cat,
The
owl,
cat and the owl.
Sea.
okay.
Boat.
The green
Sorry?
boat.
Boat.
The boat.
Boat, okay.
And sea.
Sea.
And sea, fantastic. The cat, owl, sea, boat are the nouns. What are the verbs?
Went.
Went.
Went, okay. And what's the adverb? Is there an adverb here?
No.
Great. An adverb goes ahead and explains about the verb. Here we do not have an adverb. Do we have an adjective?
Yes. Green.
Green.
Green. So the nouns are cat and owl and sea and boat. Of course, we have 4 nouns. We have one verb, which is went, and we have one adjective, which is green. Now, in any given sentence, you know, people tell you, you got to stress on keywords, you got to intonate, you got to go ahead and pause. Anytime there is a thought group, the noun, verb, adverb or adjective in a thought group will be the words that you will have to stress. And when you have more than one noun, verb, adverb or adjective in a thought group, the last one will take the stress. For example, in the cat and the owl, what's the last noun?
Owl.
So the cat and the owl, when you say owl, you'll have to stress. Went to sea on a green boat. Okay, so you always will stress on the last noun, verb, adverb or adjective. These 4, the noun, verb, adverb or adjective, is what we call as the content words. Imagine I take away these words from the sentence. Will the sentence have a meaning? Imagine a sentence as the and the, to, on, a. Does it make any sense to you? So content words are those words which add meaning to the entire sentence. Now, on the other hand, what is the grammatically? A and the, what are they?
Articles.
Articles. These are the articles. To is a preposition. Again, on is a preposition. So articles, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections, and
Conjunction.
these four. Pronouns, if they are replacing nouns, will become the content word. So pronouns will not come here. It's your articles, interjection, conjunction, and preposition. All these four are known as structure words, which means they kind of add a complete framework to your sentence. Without this, it will be like me speaking Hindi. When I go to Delhi, right, I want, let's say, to buy a bottle of water. I know water is pani. That's all I know in Hindi. I'll go to the shopkeeper and say pani, just one word. He'll look at me like, okay, he knows I don't speak Hindi. He'll give me a bottle of water. And to know the price, I will ask kitna. And I know Hindi numbers only from 1 to 10. So beyond 10, if there's a number, let's say it's 25. I don't know what is 25. So I'll say 2 and 5 in Hindi. So without these structure words, this is how your language will sound and it will not be effective. Imagine me and the shopkeeper having a conversation for more than 2 minutes. He will get irritated because I'm not speaking properly. It becomes difficult to have conversation. So in a sentence, a content word and structure word are equally important, but then without content words, the sentence does not have any meaning to it. And that is why we always stress on the content words. Now I made it very simple. I said noun you have to identify the verb. This you'll do great. But how do you intonate? How do you add stress? Let's go to the first phrase, the cat and the owl. Both are 3-letter words. Both will take equal amount of time to go ahead and pronounce. So how do you show special attention to owl? Whenever you're stressing a content word, what you have to do is, number one, you need to pause just before that word. You have to have a pause before that word. Number two, your volume will raise higher when you say that particular word. Compared to the cat and the owl will have a higher volume, and also cat is like cat. But when I say owl, I cannot stretch the word and say owl. I'll take a few more seconds to pronounce that word. That is how you will add stress to that particular word in a thought group. Clear? So let's try the sentence once again. The cat and the owl went to sea on a green boat. Automatically, I'll have to move my body a little higher. And this is what they also say, right? Your body language. Sometimes I get irritated when people say you need to have body language, because body language does not come to me naturally. So a simple way of practicing body language also is, anytime you see a verb in a sentence, you enact that verb. Or the other way is, you always go and you move your body when you're trying to use the content word. Because to raise your volume, you have to kind of go a little higher. To stretch, you'll have a little more time. So just move your body. This is called the rhythm of words. Are we clear? Any questions? Yes, no, maybe?
No.
Fantastic. Because if you're able to understand this basics and you're practicing it regularly, it becomes easy for you to go ahead and ensure you're able to intonate in your speech. Initially, this will be a little difficult. Think about it. On an average, you have about 30 sentences in a speech, and you will have to do this for every sentence. But after some time, you will be able to do it without thinking noun, verb, adverb, adjective. This will become something that comes naturally for you. We'll see one more example. The English language uses thought groups for clear communication. Now tell me, how many thought groups are there in this sentence? You can go ahead and guess. We need not get it right this time. We have time to learn.
3.
3.
3 or 4.
Okay, 3 or 4. I
3.
think someone else said 3. Let's see what those thought groups are. What? We're talking about the English language. What does the English language do? It uses thought groups. Why does it use thought groups? For clear communication. So it is 3 thought groups. I think Shruti and Shraddha said 4, right? I don't know who said 4.
4.
Why? Where did you think the 4th one came?
I thought the users would be separate from the thought groups for clear. Like I thought it was separate.
If you remember clearly, a thought group should have 2 to 5 words. So just one word, you can't use it as a thought group. Very simple logic, okay? So the English language uses thought groups for clear communication. Now tell me, in the English language, what are, in that particular thought group, what are the content words? Identify the noun, verb, adverb, adjective. In the thought group, the English language, what are the nouns?
English.
You guys are right, tell me. English and language, these are the nouns. Right? Uses thought groups. Uses thought groups.
Thought groups.
Thoughts is the abstract noun, groups is the collective noun. Guys, I thought you all will get it right. You all know the answer, you're hesitating. For clear communication, what is the noun?
Communication.
Is clear a noun or is it describing the noun communication? So it's an adjective.
And communication is the noun.
Fantastic. Communication is the noun, clear is the adjective. So in the first thought group, the English language, you will stress on language because we'll always stress on the last content word. Uses thought groups, you will stress on groups. For clear communication, you will stress on communication. Now, what I've done, if you notice keenly, is for these words also, for every word, there is a syllable that is stressed, and I've always stressed on that particular syllable. I'm not going to get into this right now because it will get very confusing. Today, we'll only see where to stress in a sentence. Word stress, probably Satish or Sunil will call me another day and we'll see it then. Are we clear about thought groups till now? Fantastic. So what we are going to do right now is, I know you all are a little older, but see, I have a 3-year-old daughter. So one thing we do whenever we are getting bored at home these days is we'll sing rhymes. And I'm sure all of you know this rhyme. So all of us together are going to sing a rhyme. Is that fine? And I'm going to stop sharing, but I'm going to just show you the rhyme and then we will stop sharing. Can't tell me you don't know this rhyme. Okay?
I know this rhyme.
Anyways, I'll keep sharing, but y'all can see if you have forgotten the lyrics. Can we try singing this? Who wants to go? I can see Harshan nodding his head, but I can't hear you, Harshan. Okay, Harshan, don't worry. Why don't you start? I'll make sure all of you sing one line. And I have one more rhyme. So we'll start with the president, Harshan. Just the first line.
Jack and Jill went up the hill.
Now, what I want you to do is, Harshan, apply what we had learned in thought groups and stress on that particular word.
Jack and Jill went up the hill.
Thank you. This is what we actually did in school, right? We never understood thought groups, but how would we sing the rhyme? Jack and Jill went up the hill. We had that sing-song pattern. Over a period of time, we missed it. So Jack and Jill takes the stress. It went up the hill. The stress goes for hill. Nandana, try the next sentence.
Of water.
You can notice her clearly. She did stress on fetch and water. To fetch a pail of water, by saying water, we again stretch that particular word to make sure we stressed it enough. Who do I call now? Johan? The next line.
Jack fell down and broke his crown.
Jack fell down and broke his crown. Now also, if you look at the sentence, previously we've spoken about Jack, we've spoken about Jill, and automatically in that particular line, fell down and crown take on stress. Because we have already spoken about Jack and Jill. Now what is important? That they have gone ahead and fallen down. The last sentence, Divya.
And Jill came tumbling after.
See, she got the rhyme. Why we had rhymes as kids was because you would practice this thought groups. So this is how you will go ahead and practice it. Till such time you are comfortable, my recommendation is go back to school, go back to rhymes from kindergarten, you will be able to get it right. We'll see one more rhyme. Timer, can you tell me what is the time?
17 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. Right, so let's try this one. I'm sure all of us know this rhyme. Who's going to start? Sarah?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Where is the stress?
5.
You have to stress 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Automatically, you will have to sing and raise your volume for 5. The next sentence, Riona.
Once I caught a fish alive.
Fantastic. Joseph?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You will have to raise your volume for 10. Only then it will be stressed clearly. Roshan?
Then I let go again.
Again, I can't hear the stress.
Then I let go again.
Fantastic. Now tell me in this sentence, then I, actually it should be then I let it go again. I missed that there. Now in this, then I let it go again. Where are the content words? Where is the noun? You get this answer right, I will make sure Satish gives you a chocolate whenever you meet in person. Where is the noun in the sentence?
I.
I. And then?
It.
It. Both I and
yes,
it
it
are
is first,
replacing the nouns. Then I let it go again. So you will stress on it over here. Okay. Then I let it go again. Both it and again will have the stress. Shruti and Shraddha, you can take one sentence each.
You let it go.
Why did you let it go?
Because it bit my finger so.
Very good. Next one. Now, will you stress on so or finger?
Finger so.
Because it bit my finger so. Stress should be on finger. So is it's a conjunction. Okay. Mridula, the next sentence.
Which finger did it bite?
Fantastic. And to finish it off, Akash.
This little finger on the right.
Stress it out. Don't read it without intonation. Where will you intonate? What are the thought groups in this sentence?
Right.
Yes. Give me the thought groups first.
Little finger.
This little finger on my right. So finger and right will take the stress. This little finger on my right. Clear?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Uh, we have another 8 more minutes to go. So do you have any questions? Are we clear? Great. So then we look at, now what we've seen is thought groups and we've seen where to stress in general. But then there are certain other aspects of intonation. For example, there's something called tune shapes or the shape of tunes. You have the glide. When I'm talking about the glide, think about a bird gliding. Just think about the bird gliding and settling down on water, or from the water you would see a swan flying up. Just keep that picture of glide in mind. It's a very smooth movement. And you also have the glide up, the swan taking off from water, or the glide down where the swan landing on water. So that's called the glide up and the glide down. It's very smooth. There are no jerky motions. Then you have the takeoff. When you hear the word takeoff, what do you remember?
A plane.
Fantastic. When you talk about takeoff, it's always a plane. The plane takes off. Now, when you're talking about the takeoff, imagine a plane, like while the bird glides, the plane goes in one swift movement across. So that swift, straight movement is what we call as a takeoff. And that is how your speech must be. A dive. Imagine a person diving into a swimming pool, right? The difference between the glide and the dive is, again, the glide is a very soft movement, but the dive is a jumpy movement. It's a very sharp movement. In dive, what we will do is we will go ahead and jump into the particular sentence. Where we will use what tone is what we are going to see in the next slide. Now, the glide up, the bird flying, we will use when we are making a statement. Now, just in general, I'm asking you, you like it? If you see, there was a glide. You like it? Starting from a lower U, when I went up to it, my volume raised. So, a statement, you will always use the glide up. Glide down, you will use when you're making a sentence that is complete or definite. It was quite good. I'm completing it. It was quite good. I'm gliding down. So the difference between the two, you're able to understand, right? You like it when I'm making a statement. I'm asking a question by that particular statement. I will use the glide up. You like it? I'm not saying, do you like it? Instead, I'm just saying, you like it. Whereas glide down, I'm making a statement that's complete. I'm saying, it was quite good. It's a complete statement. It is definite. There is no room for discussion or argument. The next one is called the takeoff. Now, takeoff we will use when we are making a statement by complaining or when you're grumbling. I was trying. It's a sharp takeoff. I was trying, because someone is blaming you for not doing something and you're grumbling to that person saying, yeah, I was trying. Why are you questioning me? So when you grumble, you will use the takeoff. And the dive you will use when you're giving a statement away as a warning. Let's say I want to warn you. You will be late. You will be late. When you're warning someone, you will use the dive. The difference between the glide down and the dive is, imagine a person diving from that boat. They will jump and then they will come down, right? Whereas in a glide, it's just a smooth takeoff or movement. But in a dive, the person jumps on the diving board and then comes down. So you'll be late. The you and late will have stress. That is the dive. Do we have any questions? this comes with practice. I will share this with Satish and he could share it with all of you. Take small sentences like this and keep practicing the glide up, glide down, take off and dive. That will help you over a period of time. Nothing works like practice, so you'll have to keep practicing it. With that, I'm done with my session for today. If there are any questions you have, I'll take it. Yes, I heard some question. I'm sorry, is someone asking a question? I think someone's talking in the background. Kids, do you have any questions? Okay. So when
I just have a small question.
Who is that?
I'm Mridula.
Yes, Mridula.
Is this useful in our day-to-day life basis?
Definitely yes. Because without the right stress or without the right intonation, the meaning of a sentence can change.
Thank you.
Let's just imagine this sentence. I did not say that. Okay, very simple sentence. I did not say that. Now, if I stress on did not, I'm denying it completely. If I stress on say, I'm telling that I did not say it. I did not tell it. Maybe I wrote it and showed. Or maybe I sent a WhatsApp message, but I did not verbally say it. If I stress on that, I did not say that. I said something else. If I stress on I, it was not me who said that. It was probably Mridula. So by stressing on the right word, the meaning of the sentence will change. And as you keep speaking often, you will realize we do not listen to the entire sentence. Even in your school, when your teacher is talking and you're taking notes, right? You will not listen to the entire sentence. You will only listen to the key words. Which means if I want you to understand or listen to something that I have to say, I need to stress and make you understand that it is a key word. Without that particular stress, the word will be completely lost. And that is why this is applicable in day-to-day life also. This is not about just getting onto stage and speaking. Stage speech is a very small portion of intonation. Intonation is something that we use on a day-to-day basis. I hope that answered your question, Mridula.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Fantastic. So with that, I would go ahead and say thank you and pass the control back to the Gavalier of the day. If you have any other questions related to this, say you've been thinking about it and on Tuesday you have a question, send the question to Satish and I will respond to that particular question. So you can count on my support for a longer period, not just for this particular 30 minutes. With that, I am handing the session back to the Gavalier of the day, Kritik Sai. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arthi Mangalam. That was a wonderful educational speech. Going forward, I will use thought groups and tune shapes for delivering an effective speech. We are now entering the second session of this meeting. Prepared speeches.
Kritik Sai, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sunil, are you there?
Yes, Satish.
It's echoing.
Shruti, you have to mute your speaker, then Sunil can speak.
Hello, Satish.
Yeah. Okay. So Arthi has to leave for another session at 4 o'clock. So
okay.
I would like to thank Arthi. You can please come back again.
Definitely, Satish. I will definitely join once more and thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so Sunil, you can share a few words before Arthi would leave for the other meeting at 4 o'clock, the division meeting.
Arthi, okay. Arthi, anyway, kids, she's been very known Toastmaster in Toastmaster Circle in Chennai and Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka. And we are very happy that it's an honor that you come forward and give a session to our kids here. I'm sure they would have thoroughly enjoyed it. We hope you will be able to come back and then give more sessions like this. Gaviliers, please unmute yourself and give a big round of applause to Arthi.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll definitely visit your club. Definitely once the lockdown is lifted and you're meeting in person. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. You can feel free to leave, Arthi, whenever you have time for the next meeting. So we will go ahead until 5.
Sure, Satish. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Kirtik Sai, you can go ahead. Yeah.
We are now entering the second session of this meeting. Prepared speeches. Each speaker will be presenting a speech project from a manual from the competent communication manual. But speakers, please remember, before you start your speech, when I ask you, please share with me your thoughts on the theme of the day. The first speaker for today is Cavalier Roshan Ram, who is in his 8th grade at Chettinad Hari Shri Vidyalayam. He is attempting his CC1 today. Before I call upon him, I request this evaluator, the most charming Cavalier Mridula, to read out his objectives.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ridhila and I'm called as the evaluator who's going to help my fellow Gavilier, who is Roshan Ram, who's here to present his CC1 speech, also known as the icebreaker. As he's a very new person to this club, I request everyone to clap for him. At least he's coming forward to deliver a speech without any nervousness. So before I explain my role, you can also tell me as the supporter who's going to help people, and I'll be giving suggestions and feedback on their speech. So with this, it's time for me to introduce the speech objectives for CC1, which is to begin speaking before an audience, to discover speaking skills you already have and skills that need some attention. Timer, please note that the time is 4 to 6 minutes. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mridula. Roshan, can you share with us one sweet memory from your lockdown times?
Yeah. Every day from the past week, my sister used to call us to play games at night, and then we used to play every day. And yeah, that is a sweet memory. Yeah, and yeah.
All right. Cavalier Roshan Ram. My life story, Cavalier Roshan Ram.
Thank you. So like all of you, I have a lot of things about me that I would like to share with you today. Good evening, Gaviliers, guests, and Toastmasters. As the purpose of this speech is to introduce myself to you, I am Roshan. I was born on 19th August 2007 in Chennai. I am studying grade 8 in Chettinad Hari Shri Vidyalayam. My dad, Ram Mohan, is a doctor at MGM Healthcare, and my mother, Ambal, is a software engineer at HCL Technologies. I have a younger